Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about this team, the Winnipeg Jets, and some of my biggest worries about this team, and some of them are coming to fruition very early on in this season. And you know, it obviously sucks, right, that Nikolai Ehlers is hurt, but I think I literally said this on YouTube. If I didn't, I said it on the Prairie Puck podcast. Go check that out, shameless plug there. But I think I said this in a video. What happens if Nick Ehlers goes down? Will the forward core be able to appropriately replace a top six forward with a guy like Mason Appleton or a Morgan Barron or a Sam Gagner? Well, right now, it doesn't look like they can. The Jets just don't have the appropriate replacement to put in when a guy in their top six gets hurt. Because what happens if Nikolai Ehlers gets hurt? Well, we're dealing with that right now. That first line is completely dead. That line pretty much produced nothing in the Toronto game. It produced almost nothing in the Vegas game. And obviously that'll get rectified once Ehlers comes back. He's only supposed to be out about a week to 10 days, as Rick Bowness said this morning. However, I worry about the team as a whole now. When an injury arises to the top six, is that just going to flatline the rest of the games? It really seems like Ehlers goes down and a lot of the offense just isn't there. The second line has stepped up quite a bit in my opinion, but you can't be a one-line team and expect to win games. Cole Perfetti, Pierre-Luc Dubois played really good tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Blake Wheeler didn't play bad either. But Scheifele and Connor out there and Appleton completely invisible. I don't even know if I heard Appleton's name tonight. And it's just really unfortunate, and I'm worried that if this keeps going the way it's going, that this team is going to be out of it pretty quick. And that's kind of the route that I see it going, unfortunately. And to top that off, it's not like the bottom six is an absolute dynamo either. I mean, the fourth line's been fine, but they've been largely invisible with the exception of Sam Gagner. And then you take a look at that third line. I mean, what has Adam Lowry done this season 5-on-5? Just about nothing, really. I mean, Morgan Barron's been very quiet. I'm really high on Morgan Barron, but he's got to find his game. And pretty much everyone on this team needs to find their game. This team can't score. That was one thing I was a little bit worried about with Rick Bowness' system, just a lack of offense, just because it is so reliant on two lines. And I don't think that third line is good enough. They throw them out there against the other team's best every night. That's supposed to be the shutdown line with, on a healthy lineup, it would be Lowry with Barron and Appleton on the wing. And what good is that line if they're not going to be a true shutdown line? I mean, when have you seen them shut anyone down this year? I don't think I've heard Adam Lowry's name called once this season so far. He's been very quiet. And that line just really hasn't done it for me. That line needs to get better and fast, or the Jets are going to let in a lot of goals this season, and their inability to score is not going to be a very good combination there. I think tonight was a little bit of a wake-up call, and I hope it was a wake-up call, because if something doesn't change, they are going to miss the playoffs, and they're going to be somewhere in the middle there, and they're going to have a middle-of-the-road draft pick, and they're not going to be in that top 10 where those really, really good prospects are this season. This draft could be legitimately generational, and it's going to be a shame if the Jets do force their way and convince themselves that they are a playoff team when they're probably not. And you can sit here and tell me, it's only game 5, don't overreact, but what feels different right now from last season? There just doesn't seem to be any jam until the Jets are down 2-0 or down 3-1, and then that's where they start playing and trying like hell to get back into the game. And it is frustrating, because it's like, why couldn't we play that way before? Why couldn't we play that way in the first period? And it's just disheartening as a fan, because we went through this whole offseason expecting big change, and what did we get? Looks like we've got the same team in front of us, just a couple different faces. And you can't even blame Bowness really for what he's working with. Obviously, he doesn't have a guy that he can plug in to the top six and it immediately just be okay when there's an injury. This is a problem that probably should have been fixed well before training camp in the offseason. You know, we've been talking about it. Everybody knows the Jets' issue on defense. They've got too many, and, you know, we kept a lot of those guys right up until training camp, and the Jets lost Kovacevic. He looks like he's doing pretty good in Montreal. Good for him. I don't think he really would have cracked this team with the amount of talent that they have on the squad right now and with the Moose. But, you know, moving a guy like Dylan probably would have been a good move, moving him for a forward, and then that allows Sandberg to come up and fill that role, who's looked pretty good. And then you slap Hainela in there, and then all of a sudden your defense is fun. And not only that, but I have a hard time believing that that option is worse than the one that we currently have. Right now the Jets are paying a lot of guys a lot of money to do a lot of nothing on the defensive side. So that's what I would have done this offseason. I think that idea would have been pretty solid, and we didn't end up doing that. Of course, there's going to be people in the comments telling me that, oh, you don't know more than the professionals, leave it to the professionals. But, you know, don't tell me that that wouldn't have been a pretty good plan right now. But with that said, we are only at Game 5 of the season. 77 more to go. I hope that all 77 are more exciting than what we got today, because this was pretty sad, and you know, it just sucks because it feels like we're still in that 2021-2022 season, but we just got a little bit of an extended cut here. So I'm going to leave it there. What do you guys think about the Jets season so far, and where do you see them going? I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. Hopefully we improve here, because this is not fun to watch. And yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.